Hi, this is Veeraya Pujari, School Assistant Social Studies, ZPHS Modugulagudam, Koravi Mandal. First chapter India Relief Features, Indo-Gangetic Plains and Peninsular Plateau. Hi children, today we will discuss about the second important major relief division of India, that is Indo-Gangetic Plains. So Indo-Gangetic Plains are extended in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. So the Indo-Gangetic Plain, this is Indo-Gangetic Plain. The Indo-Gangetic Plains are formed because of the continuous flow of the Himalayan rivers. Three Himalayan rivers are the cause for the formation of Indo-Gangetic Plains. Number one, the Indus. It is one of the Himalayan rivers. Second one is that the Ganga, and third one is that Brahmaputra river. These three rivers are the cause for the formation of Indo-Gangetic Plains. And Indo-Gangetic Plains were formed because of the gravel, sediments, pebbles, etc. brought or carried out by the Himalayan rivers and deposited here. So 200 years ago, means 20 million years ago, there was a shallow depth or basin where the present Indo-Gangetic Plains were there. The shallow depth was filled by the gravel and sediments brought and deposited by these Himalayan rivers. Thus Indo-Gangetic Plains are formed. Then let us come the division to understand the divisions of Indo-Gangetic Plains. There are three divisions in Indo-Gangetic Plains. Those are Western Plains, Central Plains and Eastern Plains. Western Plains are formed because of the Indus River and its tributaries. So Indus River, it is the west flowing Himalayan river flowing through, you see, Jammu and Kashmir and merging in Arabian Sea. And here a Punjab state is there. Here 5 tributaries of Indus merging or joining in Indus River. Those are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Sutlej. These rivers are passing through Punjab and merging in Indus River, so that Punjab state is called as the land of 5 rivers, because of 5 rivers are flowing through this landmass, so that landmass, particular landmass Punjab, is called the land of 5 rivers. So Indus River is only flowing 709 kilometers. Its course is less, but this less course which is left in Punjab and Haryana, this is very fertile. Doab features are seen. Doab means almost all, you see, Indo-Gangetic Plain is fertile, but Doab area which is left over in Haryana and Punjab is very fertile. So Doab means the landmass or fertile soil which is between two rivers. For example, this is a river and here is a river. The landmass which is between these two rivers is called Doab. Doab is the fertile land which is there, which lies between two rivers, is called Doab. Then come to the central plains. Central plains are caused by the Ganga river. So Ganga has 2 branches, that is, you see, Yamunotri, Gangotri. Yamuna is the river, of course, it is a tributary of Ganga, and it is Gangotri and Bhagirath, 2 places. You see, from 2 places this is starting, and when it comes to the Devaprayag, it is calling as Ganga river, and Ganga and its tributaries like Son, Yamuna are the caused for the formation of central plains, and the central plains are extended in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. And then next one is that eastern plains. Eastern plains are caused by the Brahmaputra and its tributaries. Mainly eastern plains of Indo-Gangetic plains are there in Assam state. So this is about Indo-Gangetic plains. And in Indo-Gangetic plains, based on the fertility or based on the high and lower fertility, the surface of the Indo-Gangetic plains are divided into, you see, four types. Number one is that here Bhabar. Bhabar means the fertile landmass of the Indo-Gangetic plains, which is extended at the foothills of the Shivaliks from 8 kilometers to 16 kilometers width. These are formed by the pebbles and gravel brought and deposited by the Himalayan rivers, so that this is called Bhabar. Bhabar means pebble flooded porous zones. And then after, you see, Terai is also there. Terai is one of the fertile land area of the Indo-Gangetic plains, and this Terai is formed because of the underground flowing rivers and streams of Bhabar, and re-emerged as fertile soils or plains in 1560 kilometers of Bhabar. So thus the re-emerged or marshy swampy tracts of Indo-Gangetic plains is called Terai. And another surface difference of Indo-Gangetic plain based on the fertility is that Bhabar, Bangar. Bhabar is already over, Bangar. Bangar means, you see, the older alluvium, and as against to the Bangar, one more surface land difference is there, that is Kadar. Kadar means newer alluvium. So this is Indo-Gangetic plains. Then we have to start the another important major relief division of India, that is called Peninsular Plateau. Peninsular Plateau, you see, is below the Vindhya and Satpura mountain ranges. You see, this is called Peninsular Plateau or South India, or it is also called as Peninsular India. It is formed by the crystalline, metamorphic and igneous rocks. This, you see, Peninsular India is very rich in having minerals. Both metallic and non-metallic minerals are there in Peninsular India. Moreover, Peninsular India is slightly tilted towards the east, so that the rivers which are taking origin in the Western Ghats flowing towards the east and merging in Bay of Bengal. So this is about Peninsular India. Peninsular India broadly categorized into two types. One is that Central Highlands, and second one is that Deccan Plateau. Central Highlands means, you see, about to the, this is, you see, Deccan Plateau, which are southern part of the river Narmada. So the southern part of river Narmada is called Deccan Plateau, and the upper part of the Deccan Plateau and the lower part of the Indo-Gangetic plains are called, you see, Central Highlands. The Central Highlands are further divided into two categories. One is that Malwa Plateau in the northwest direction of the Deccan Plateau, and second one is the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the northeast direction of Deccan Plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is very rich, very rich in having you see, different types of minerals, so that it is often compared with the Ruhr Valley of Germany. Ruhr Valley of Germany is very rich in having of different types of minerals. So in India also, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is at present is in you see, Jharkhand, is also very rich in having of different types of minerals, so that it is often compared with the Ruhr Valley of Germany. So which is the Ruhr Valley of India అని అంటే మనం ఏం చేయాలి, చోటా నాగపూర్ ప్లాటూను రూర్ వ్యాలీ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా అంటారు అనేటువంటి విషయాన్ని మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. So thus, in the northwest direction of Deccan Plateau, there was a Malwa Plateau. In the northeast direction of the Deccan Plateau, there is a Chota Nagpur Plateau. And in the east direction of the Deccan Plateau, there are Eastern Ghats. And the west direction of the Deccan Plateau, there are Western Ghats. And we will discuss about Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats in the next coming lesson. Okay?